have something to show all you lovely people. Brace yourself. This is the chassis that I built for the airport limo.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job, and everything is gonna be okay.
This is now running and driving, brakes, fuel, motor, everything's taken care of. I have the stock Duramax dash in here. This is a stock Duramax floor, but I mated the two together here. You can kind of see I had to make the step because of the width here. So I made it a little wider than factory, but you can see we're tied in to the 58 cab. This had to all come off to mold the fresh air vents together, which are all metal. The heart of the beast is the Duramax. You can see I mated the firewalls together. It's Duramax down here and 58 up here. And so the distance between the firewall and any part in here is stock Duramax. You have more room in here because the fresh air vent used to come out to about here. I had to cut that all off. I had to move the cab a little bit forward from where I wanted to put it because of the AC in comparison to the front wheelbase. What I did was I cut the fender up, cut down, and then cut off the back the amount I needed and made this wheel well opening a little bigger so the wheel is centered in it. And it worked out really good. Made it to where you could run this bigger tire and gives us more options on wheel and tire. We'll probably do something kind of along these lines, not exactly this, on the rear wheel wells, because you know this is a little bit lower than the airport limo probably. You can see intercooler and everything's all fit in there to where the stock grill can go back in. Has to mount a little bit different. The guy that did this, I give credit to him, even though I don't know who it was. A friend of the customer got this thing running. I had fit everything, but the push rods in the Duramax that was in here were bent. My customer got a different motor, and another guy put it all in and got it running. So thank you to him, and hopefully I'll get his name later so I can give him some credit. What I really like is this different sound deadening, heat deadening on the back. Looks like it says PPE. Anyways, it's really awesome because usually this is a disaster back here. You know, it flakes and it's all messed up. So it's really cool to see a new custom insulator back there. You know, all this was taken apart, molded in. You can see where I separated it and had to do all kinds of work to get that fresh air vent sealed to where when you know water's going in here, it's not messing up the factory intake system. Still running a fresh air vent, still running all of the safety airbags in this from the Duramax, which is pretty cool. We're probably going to cut this off and cut it somewhere in here, and that's going to have our different body on there. Our donor bodies out there, the rat piss ones, are going to start from there and go back, and then the other one's going to go back to the front. But it's just cool to have this because those Duramax seats bolt in. Anything Duramax console, anything like that you can use. I will have to make a custom dash as far as the top of it goes. Use the factory bottom parts and make a custom top part to kind of go all together here. Our window crank is a little bit behind the dash here, so we'll probably go to an electric window and have, you know, maybe an armrest with a button in here, something like that. I'll show you more of it as we go, like the super cool fuel tanks that I put in here with a giant, like 2-3 inch connector that connects the two. Got a bunch of Suburban Duramax body mounts, so the whole body is mounted the same to the chassis, just like the cab. They all have the same type of cushions on here. The rear is lowered a lot because on the truck, the axle, the back hips up real high, and we needed a flat chassis. So this stuff has been moved around a lot. If you notice, this is laying down flat instead of being vertical. And we have a C-notch in the back for the axle. I did a big old X frame in the middle of this. This is all 2x6 or 2x8. I think it's 8th wall. You can see there's a lot going on. Carrier bearings and drive lines, and I have a lot of work in this. I used some drop shackles on the rear. As you can see, it sits pretty level. We can adjust it, the ride height, with our drop shackle here. A lot of work, but we even have more to go probably. This body is going to be interesting, but let's get to it. No time like the present. Okay, on our airport limo, I got the chassis cleaned up and wiped down because I do not like working on dirty stuff. I find that it brings my quality down, and so I always clean everything. We're going to be getting those bodies sandblasted to cut apart for this, but in the meantime, I'm going to mess with a few things on this dash because it's been cut down quite a bit on both sides. So I first want to try to get the gauge bezel cut down, and just so everybody knows, this one's name is Mike S. So Mr. Mike, Chevy named a lot of the Silverados. This one's named Mike. But I need to cut it down, so I'm going to cut here and here and then bring this piece in and mate it up to that one way or another. That'll let us use our fog light and dimmer switch button, but not our headlight button or this vent. But I might be able to make this little, it had a little cubby for some useless reason. I might be able to make that into the vent, which would be useful. So let's see what we can do with this. This was the Cubon glue. It's a super glue with like a filler. That's obviously sandable right away. I use this trim black and some vinyl and fabric, and it looks pretty legit if I don't say so myself. You saw me cut down the bezel, and I cut down the lower part of the dash and then cut out a little hole for the headlight switch. Made a little mount in the back there for that, and you can kind of see a nice little line that comes down there. I think it would be cool because we're going to change it to power windows, so we're going to get rid of the crank here, and I think it'd be kind of neat to do it the inner door panel to where it had a line here that kind of contoured the new dash. Customer didn't bring the airbag, glove box, that lower panel back. I'm really hoping he did not get rid of those, because I don't know what it is in most states, but it's usually illegal to buy a used airbag, so you'd have to buy a new one. I worked on the door gaps and just getting the doors to work a little bit better. The hood gap, some of the fit there, fit on this fender. So been messing with that some, and making plans on how we're gonna do this has been a big portion of this.
All it takes is one job, oh yeah. All it takes is one job,